Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today's video's kind of made itself. I didn't know really what we were going to do. It was just about priming, but it ended up being a lot more than that. So if you're interested in some tricks and some news, stick around. Today I'm just disassembling and getting some of these parts ready for primer. I've already got a few done. Going to just prep out these parts, get them all primed one piece at a time. Probably won't prime it as a whole big batch just because of lack of space. So far, the paint booth, without a covering, just move the wing out and shut the door, and then the air flowing from the front door goes through this big opening. I haven't put any plastic up or anything yet. I plan to when I'm doing the wings. But the small parts over there in the corner gets primer all over the floor. But other than that, it's been evacuating really well. So I'm happy with that. In today's video, I will show you this thing that most people are probably not going to get, but because of my history and my background and how much isocyanates and other things I've had in my body over the years, doing just exactly what probably a lot of people do, not protecting myself as well as I should. But I have a fresh air system that I haven't introduced to the channel yet. But for right now, I really want to push the idea of sanding the edges on any of these parts, and especially if they're thick like this, and this is the support for the seat belt, and denibbing it and getting the edges. So if you're new to this, rivets don't do a whole lot for pulling. So when you pull on a rivet like this, if you were to look at these sideways, the thickness, and you were to ream out and put a countersink, reaming that out, getting that edge off, and guys that are doing this, bear with me. If you do that, then you make that surface that's touching the rivet so much smaller that it has a tendency to not be as strong. So the bottom line is sand these smooth. Don't take much off. You got to get that little edge off that you feel. But other than that, each part needs to be deburred just perfectly. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you what's going on in the video. You'll see me when I'm priming these have a fresh air system on. And I wanted to take a minute to explain to you why I bought that and how it works. And someday I'll show you exactly everything about it. But right now, I want to get these parts ready for primer. That's what I'm doing today. So, number one, I had to decide what system I was going to buy. There's a fresh air systems that hook up to the air hose on your compressor. You just tee off of it somehow. One reason I don't want to do that is because I need all the air I can get. I got a small compressor. The other main reason is I don't want to put a filter system in that I have to trust to something I'm going to breathe. My compressor's old, and I'm sure there's oil in the tank some, even though I filter it out the best I can. I don't want to breathe that kind of air at all. So I went with, and the other reason I don't wear a mask is because when you wear, I do wear a mask for things that are quick and you're just getting it done a second and then you're done. But I've breathed a lot of isocyanates. I've had them on my skin. I've had a lot of problems with that over the years. That's a serious business. Don't think, oh, I'm young and I can just do this. And I had old guys telling me that too, but you know, we're not as smart as we should be. So what I did is I decided to suck it up with the cost of the airplane. It's just part of the build as far as I'm concerned because they're very expensive. I'll show you the filter. And then one of the number one reasons is when you're in the middle of painting and you put a mask on, you get hot. And the inside of those masks fill up with sweat. And when you lean over, little do you know that there's something hanging in there and it goes right in your paint job, especially if you're like doing a hood of a car or a wing. Can you imagine being out reaching over your wing and dripping sweat into your paint job. You're not going to get that with a hood. A fresh air system, it puts fresh air out of a filter that hooks on your backpack, and you wear a little backpack and you got a filter. These are the same as what's in a mask, basically. It's a charcoal filter and everything goes through it. How many hours you get out of it, I'm not sure yet. So I don't know how much time you get out of it, but there's your 3M filter that goes on your backpack, and it lets fresh air come into your hood and you don't sweat. You do have to look through a screen. There is that. You do get used to it. It's a little bit extra. You have to take a little time to put it on and take it off and put it away and make sure it stays clean. But it is so worth it. I know a mask is really quick and easy, and it is. But this is the filter, by the way. They're very expensive. I think this one's going to get the job done for the whole airplane. That's what my plan is anyway. The machine is computerized. It tells you exactly when the filter's too dirty. As it gets dirty, it increases the fan speed so that you get the same rate of how many cubic feet of air you get throughout the paint job. I've had a lot of fresh air systems where I've worked in paint booths. They're awesome. I trusted myself to the filter system that they had because they were off their compressor, and I don't think I had any ill effects from it. You be the judge of that. So yeah, so that's what you're going to see in the future on the channel. And the other thing is, I was told to talk about subscribing. Because of the fact that I don't know a lot about YouTube, just like anything, I'm learning all this as I go. I went into analytics and was really surprised that about 3/4, maybe up to 2/3 of the people watching the videos aren't subscribed. And that's okay if you don't want to subscribe. But if you're one of those, even if, and the other analytic I was surprised about was people watch these at night on their TVs. Isn't it crazy how it tells us all that stuff? I'm just learning about that stuff. So between 6 and 9 is when my videos are being seen. So hey, to anybody that's having supper. So I was told that if I don't ask, I don't get. So to ask. So I'm politely asking. It would be my honor if you were to subscribe. And this is why you should subscribe. Big things are going to be coming up soon, like putting the wings on this fuselage when I get it made. I'm going to share what I learned about how to ream a hole, because there's I've already read up on it a little bit, and there's a certain amount of surface that you need to leave on a hole so the reamer works perfectly and no slop whatsoever. That's a one-shot thing. It's either we're going to be calling Zenith and buying new parts and putting them back on the fuselage if that doesn't go well. And that's a big job. I'm going to have to get the truck out of here, the car out of here. We're going to put the fuselage here. Both wings I'm planning on putting on in this shop. So that's going to be fun to see alone. See if I can, I might have to clear some stuff off that wall over there, but I've done kind of the math and I think I can do it. So there's another reason to subscribe. We got that coming up. And what was the other stuff? Oh, just putting the tail on, doing all the measurements. I know I've seen a few guys online do that, and that's an exciting, that's an anxiety-ridden video. So if you're up for that, yeah, I would be honored if you subscribed, and that's coming up. But right now, I'm basically just priming parts. But that's all part of it. All right, now that all these edges are nice and smooth and I've went inside and done the radiuses, I don't see any bad pucker marks. I'm moving on to prepping for paint. Okay, real quickly, I'll show you how I'm prepping these. I'll get my mask on after I get this quick little part made because I don't like this acetone stuff. It's really stinky. But just wipe off the all the marks on there that you put maybe with a marker and get the degreased from your oily hands. You probably should do this before you denib because you could sand it in. I was making video, so I wasn't thinking as clearly as I should have. There's a little glue on here, right there from tape. There's a little ink there. And once I get this wiped down so that I know that there's the oils are taken off. Then I change over, and I'm not telling you to do this. This is just what I do. There, I do have a fan running, keeping that fumes away from me. It's going over to that side of the shop, and anyway, I use Sparkle. I like this stuff. I can get it at Meijer. I just thought of something. For you that don't know what Meijer is, in Michigan we call it Meijers, and I try not to say Meijers, but 99% of the people in Michigan call it Meijers when it's called Meijer, the Meijer store. But anyway, Meijer is from Fred Meijer. He started a chain up here in Michigan that we get our groceries, and it's called basically your one-stop shop store. And I get my groceries there every week. And you can buy Sparkle there. You can get Sparkle just about anywhere. It's actually, during COVID, for some reason, it was really hard to find. But anyway, I use Sparkle, and what I like is that it lubricates the Scotch-Brite up, and within no time, this piece is just perfectly dull. And I love using something that is a cleaner. So I like Sparkle, just like that. Okay, what I'm going to do now is say goodbye for now. I'm going to get my gear on. So I'm going to get serious about prepping these, and then you will be magically forwarded into time to where I'm priming these. And if I have any other little nuggets to tell you at that time, I will. Thought of something to share with you. I know a lot of people, when I have to, and I still do, put a bend like that, to go through a hole and hang it up, and that works. But sometimes it lays up close to it, and you get that big mark where the wire was. This will stop that. You can do it on one side real easy. The other side you got to hook on something. Make yourself a teardrop. A little bigger than the hole you want to put it through. Then just thread it through the hole, and it'll stop where it wants to. And once you tie it up, you can pull this back away easily. That when it finds its center. So it looks like that, and then you don't have the wire close to it anywhere, and it works. I'll show you here, like that. I have no wire on the bottom in the way. If you're going straight down, it works in a lot of incidences, and that one, and it pulls tight and won't go any further. So that's how I do it when I care about leaving a mark. Well, it's really nice to get these this far. If you made it this far in the video, I just wanted to say thank you for listening to me ramble along. And it is really nice to think down the road what's going to happen in here. It's going to be really exciting. So, hey, thanks a lot for sticking around. We'll see you in the next one.